Hi there, welcome to this video. I'm going to have a wander around in the snow with my camera. So you join me this morning on a little walk around the area near where I live. I'm not going to stray more than about a mile away from my house this morning, but as you can tell there's still some snow on the ground, and so I'm going to be optimistic and I'm going to see if I can see anything worth photographing. I have seen a video recently from a fairly well-known YouTube photographer who's moaning that this year hasn't been very good for photography, but for me it's been really great for photography. The channel has grown no end, and to be out this morning in conditions like this, what more could you want? Definitely I'm going to enjoy my photography. So I've found a little scene here that I quite like. There's a bulrush just there with some snow on the top and some lovely trees in the background with snow on the branches, and I've composed it so that the bulrush is on the thirds, so it's quite pleasant. Just got a little bit of sun breaking through, and what I've also done is I've set it into manual focus so I can get really precise focus on the bulrush, just to make sure everything's good. I've put the exposure delay timer on, which is really useful on the Z6ii, so I've just got a second before the shutter fires after I press a button to make sure the camera's nice and still, and it's quite pleasant. What I've just done is taken another shot of the bulrush, but this time I've completely changed the settings so I can do a comparison. I've zoomed in as close as I can on the bulrush, but I've also widened the aperture to f4 to give me a very shallow depth of field. So we'll see how those two compare when we get them back. So I've just taken a picture of this tree here behind me. Now it's nothing particularly special, but with the snow and the warm, low winter sunlight, it completely changes the scene. I probably wouldn't take it normally, but in this condition, I really like it. So this morning the conditions are quite challenging. The sun's coming in and out, there's snow on the ground, so it makes getting a good exposure just a little bit tricky. But what I've done is I put the camera into manual exposure. I'm just taking my time. I'm checking the EVF and the histogram and the screen on the back of the camera, and then taking the picture. Now the sun's come out, what I'm trying to do is take a shot through the branches of a tree, and I've put the F number right down to F22, and what that does is it creates a starburst. So I'm trying to find the right tree so I get the shadow on the floor and lighting up the snow. But I've just found one that was really nice as far as the tree went, but there were some power lines in the background which I don't particularly like. Now I could clone them out, but it's a pain in the neck. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and find a better tree and do the same thing, but in a better location. I've got one spied just a bit further down the field. So at the moment I'm on a horse cross-country field and there are lots of fences dotted about all over the place, and I found a fairly interesting one just here that's got some old trees to make the fence and some manicured hedges as well, and I've used the hedge to block out the sun ever so slightly so it's just poking out, and I've managed to get the starburst effect I was looking for, but with the pattern of the hedge as well causing quite interesting shadows on the floor, so I quite like that one as well. What's great about mornings like this is you can start to really break the rules. I'm really enjoying taking pictures into the sun at the moment and getting the starburst effect. Now, it's not everybody's cup of tea and they may not be the most spectacular shots in the world, but I think they're quite moving and they really capture the morning really well. So it doesn't matter what rules there are, go ahead and break them. If you're enjoying yourself, what matters? If you're enjoying this video, don't forget to click like, subscribe and the bell notifications. That way you'll be informed of all of my future content. Thanks a lot to everybody that's already subscribed. It's great to have you as part of the channel. I've come into the woodland at the end of the field and there is a footpath that runs through this woodland, but it's very, very wet at the moment. I don't know whether you can tell from the video that there is a footpath. It's good job I've got wellies on this morning to get through there. It's going to be quite squelchy. Luckily, I have found a dry path through the wood. It's not going to be as bad as I thought. There's some really interesting trees and patterns and things deeper into the wood that have still got lots of snow on it because it's not catching the snow, but I really don't think I can get there. I'm going to have a go, but it's very, very wet underfoot. There's lots and lots of water. I'm stood on solid ground at the moment, but I think I'm about the edge of where is solid, but I'm going to give it a go and see if I can get any deeper. So despite there being lots of liquid water about in puddles, the ground itself is actually quite hard. I think because we've had a fairly hard frost over the last 3 or 4 days, that the ground underneath is still quite firm. So I'm actually getting quite deep into the wood and I'm finding some really lovely little compositions that I'm really enjoying. I keep finding little things that appeal to me. Just here there's a frozen pond that's got some tufts of grass sticking out, and in the foreground just down here there's a little bit of snow that's settled on, I think it's a branch down on the frozen ice, and it makes for a really nice leading line through the composition to a house that's over there in the background. This morning I came out with just a camera and a tripod and no expectations. Now, did I get epic light? No. Did I get epic scenery? No. But did I have a good time and get some shots that I feel proud of? Absolutely. And that's the reality of photography. You can't always get those portfolio shots every single time you go out, and if you expect to, then you are deluding yourself. What's more important is you get out and you just have a good time. I hope I've inspired you this morning to get out with your camera. Even if you're not lucky enough to live out in the countryside like I am, go to a local park, go to your back garden, just find somewhere where you can take photographs that you enjoy. Go and check out my Instagram if you haven't already done so. That's at Darrell Oakden Photography. Don't forget to click like, subscribe and the bell notifications. Watch out for next week's video. That goes live at 4 o'clock on Sunday. But all that's left now is to say stay safe and I'll see you soon. What I've also done, la 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 la. Oh, hello. Through the wood. It's not going to be as bad as I thought. Did I get an epic... Oh, shit.